Hey guys, welcome back to the next part of the Sonic Forces speedrun tutorial, and in this video we're going over Null Space, which is the next tag team stage where you control both Modern Sonic and the Avatar. I have a few things to say about this stage, so let's get into it. So this stage is an oddball for me. I'm just gonna go and say that Null Space is probably my worst stage in Sonic Forces for speedrunning. Not that I know it's basically one of those stages where like I know the strats, but this is probably the one stage where I'm just simply unable to do most of the strats that the high level runs do for Null Space. As a result, the only strats I can really demonstrate for Null Space are the very basic ones, the safe strats more or less. I can't really show off the advanced strats because this is like the one stage where I'm simply unable to do them. So I sincerely apologize for that I can't give you guys a better tutorial for this stage like you deserve, because this is definitely a doozy of a stage to speedrun. With the main gimmick of this stage in the speedrun is that like there's like a bazillion different ways to go through this stage because it has a lot of alternate pathways. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can approach this stage, and the ones that I'm going to show you in this video are just the slower, more safer routes that I have been taking. Hopefully I can come back to this one day when I'm better at the more advanced strats in this level, but for now I'm just going to be showing off to you guys the two basic strats that I'm more comfortable with. So when you start off the stage, at the very beginning you notice there's a double boost. Now you do have to mash for that double boost, but after that you simply don't press anything on the controller. You don't move left or right, you literally just stand still. There's nothing you can do to speed that part up. So you just mash the double boost, you don't do anything, wait for it to finish, and then you get flung out here. So when the stage starts off, this is going to be with the first strat with the drill. So in this version of my strat for Null Space, you start off with, well, in all the versions of Null Space actually, you start off with a rail jump at the beginning. Now what that is you get the Wisp Capsule, you go through this rail, and then once the rail starts to take a turn to the right, you do a rail jump to the left to get to that rail that you see in the distance, that loop rail in the distance around the middle. Just like that. And now you're going to want to do a stomp and then a jump, you know, get a max speed and then do a jump over to the right. And then you want to clear out these guys with the homing attack. Mash this. And then you homing attack the spring here. After you homing attack the spring, you just want to boost forward. And then once you land onto this platform, you can get the checkpoint for safety if you want to. But either way, you want to come over to this platform with all the badniks, and then you want to do another stomp jump over to the right. Or you can also do a boost jump, either works. Boost jump right there. And then you just want to drill through these badniks across here. And just boost across this rail. And then as soon as you get that boost capsule, you want to jump off and then boost towards the end of the rail. Want to stomp as soon as you land. And then just homing attack the badniks that pop up in the stage here. And then quickly homing attack the spring on the right. And then boost forward. Just mash the boost button forward. And that's that first version of Null Space. Now I'm going to explain the second version, which actually, this is the one time in the run where if you were to choose to do this strat for whatever reason, you would use the burst Wispin, because this allows you to take a shortcut that you can't take with just the drill. So with the burst Wispin, the beginning of the stage starts out basically the same. Like I said, the beginning of the stage is the same for all versions of Null Space, where you do the rail jump to the other rail in the distance. Then you're going to do the stomp jump or a boost jump over to the platform on the right. And just homing attack these guys. Homing attack the spring. And now what you want to do here is when the rail starts to curve to the right, you want to do a boost jump to the left, and then keep boosting, and then when you get near the springs in the distance, you want to mash the homing attack, and then use the burst wispin. So, springs in the distance. I just kept holding down the boost button until I got close enough to the springs to homing attack. And now as you can see, there's a burst capsule in front of me, which I'm going to use with the Y button. And then I'm going to see some rings in the distance. As such, I'm going to boost into those rainbow rings. And as soon as I come out of those rainbow rings, I'm going to keep holding down the boost button. And it takes me right to the rail. Now I just make my way through the rest of the rails. And I use the burst wispin to take care of these badniks faster. Same thing here, and then I just boost into the goal after hitting the spring. Now, which strat is better in terms of the two that I just presented? Both of them are about on the same length of, not same length, the same kind of difficulty. They're both fairly easy strats to start off Null Space with. With the Burst Wispin strat in particular, you can get anywhere from a 110 to a 130. That's like a huge range of times there. But if you don't have enough boost to make it to the rainbow rings, or the orange rings in the distance, or to the rail in the distance at the end of the stage, there's a lot of things that can go wrong in Null Space. Like I mentioned, Null Space is the kind of stage where there's just a million different ways that you can approach it, that you can get to the goal. There's a lot of fast strats, there's a lot of slow strats. In the end, you can try to develop your own strat, or you can look at one of the world record ILs and try to copy what that does. There's a lot of different ways to approach this stage, basically. I wish I could do more for Null Space, but unfortunately I'm just really not able to right now with this stage, unfortunately. Instead, what I'm going to do is in the description, I will link some really good ILs that you can use to learn the best Null Space strats from. And you can use the YouTube playback feature to slow down the video footage, or you can use the your keyboard to go frame by frame and just see how they do the strats in those specific ILs. Once again, I really apologize for being unable to do more for Null Space, because the stage deserves better, even if I don't really like it that much. You guys deserve a better tutorial for this stage, so yeah, I apologize sincerely for being unable to really show you any kind of good strats for this level. This is the only level this applies to, but regardless, I feel like I should know everything about all the stages, and the fact that there's this one stage that I just can't really get down is kind of frustrating. So yeah, I apologize for that. So I guess just to finish this off, I'm just going to go through the stage with the Burst Wispin strat that I just showed off, just to cap things off as I usually do. So that's the pretty mediocre strat that you can do for Null Space, like I said, with the Burst Wispin. I was a little off with the time guessing there, because I don't usually go through this stage with Burst anymore. I just keep the drill throughout the whole run, so the time guessing was a little inaccurate. But Yeah, I don't want to really say any more about Null Space because this stage is just kind of out of my range of expertise, unfortunately. But that's it for Null Space, and I will come back to you guys in the next video actually knowing what I'm talking about for Imperial Tower. So once again, I apologize for this lackluster video about Null Space, but I'll see you guys in the next video.